All right, good evening, everyone. As you make your way into the presentation, allow me to take a moment to welcome you to the Georgia Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us this evening. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Directed questions about a specific institution are certainly fine, or feel free to pose questions for all of our institutions to respond at the conclusion of the program. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening both this evening and throughout the week, so be sure to sign up for additional ones. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you initially submitted your registration. Now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll start off with Troy University.
All right, good afternoon/evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Cole, and I serve as an admissions counselor at Troy. I'm excited to be here with you all to tell you a little bit about the great things that Troy has to offer. So just kind of some of the fast facts, basic information about the university. We're located in Troy, Alabama. We're a mid-sized Division I institution, about 7,500 students on campus with over 100 different majors and minors. Some of our, more popular programs are going to be anything in our Sorrell College of Business, our College of Education, exercise science, nursing, music, and a ton of other great programs too. So chances are we have something that you might be interested in majoring in. We have over 200 different clubs and organizations. So if you're interested in being involved in whether it's a campus ministry, service organization, intramural sports, Greek life, we really have something to offer all students. And as I mentioned before, we are a Division I school and compete in the Sun Belt Conference. And a really neat feature, as a Troy student, you are allowed free admission to all home sporting events with your student ID. So where is Troy? That's a very common question. We are located in Troy, Alabama, Southeast Alabama. You can kind of see where we're positioned there, about an hour south of Montgomery, about an hour north of Dothan. So admissions requirements for fall 2021, just a couple of quick notes before I get started. We don't have a preference of ACT versus SAT or GPA. We'll take the weighted GPA both for admissions and for scholarships. To be admitted conditionally to Troy, you need to have a minimum of a 17 on the ACT or a 910 SAT. And then unconditional acceptance starts at a 20 on the ACT or 1030 SAT. The only difference with that is the number of hours you're permitted to take during your first couple of semesters at Troy. Everyone's favorite part, academic scholarships. A couple of important notes about this. You do have to be accepted to Troy in order to first apply for scholarships. So it is important to go ahead and get that application in if you are interested in attending and you meet the requirements for our scholarships. We also do not distinguish between in and out of state students for scholarship purposes. We actually have an award that covers the out of state portion of tuition. I'll go a little bit more into detail a little bit later. Additionally, we do stack or super score for scholarship purposes. So let's say you've taken the ACT 6 times. We'll take your best English, math, science, and reading. We'll average those together to get that super score for you. And as you can see here, that will make a very big difference. So our scholarships start at 20 on the ACT, 1030 SAT with a 3.0 GPA. That's based a lot on those test scores and GPA, as well as your leadership in and outside of the classroom. It's $2,000 to $4,000 per year. All of these awards are awarded on a per year basis. Next is our Chancellor's Scholarship, $6,000 to $10,000 per year, 26 ACT or 1230 SAT with a 3.5 GPA. The average tuition cost for an in-state student, which you can easily be considered, is going to be around $9,500, $10,000 per year. So you can see that award is going to cover 60, 65 to up to the full tuition there. And you can see lastly our Scholars Award, which is a great scholarship. That's, close to a full ride as you can get. The first level of that is going to be full tuition for 4 years and traditional style housing. So you could live elsewhere on campus. You would just pay the difference on that. Then lastly, the kind of next tier, the Scholars Plus, it's full tuition, full housing, and a full meal plan for 4 years. You really can't ask for a much better award than that. So if this kind of piques your interest a little bit, definitely go ahead and apply for admission for fall 2021. So as I mentioned before, we do have a couple of special things for Georgia students. As you can see here, all these counties receive in-state tuition automatically at Troy because of their proximity to one of our campuses. If you don't live in one of these counties, don't fret, because we have the Trojan Opportunity Expanded Scholarship, which covers the out-of-state portion of tuition. So 20 ACT, 1030 SAT with a 3.0 GPA, that'll bring you down to the same tuition cost that any Alabama resident would pay. So as opposed to paying 19 or 20,000 per year as an out-of-state student, you're going to pay close to 9 or 10,000, and those scholarships go a lot further paying towards that. And you'll see down there the Sunshine Scholars Award, again, 20 ACT, 1030 SAT with that 3.0 GPA. It's a $1,000 to $2,000 renewable award, so that's up to 4 years. Priority is given to Florida residents. However, we have made some of these awards available to Georgia students, so do go ahead and apply for that. So important dates and deadlines here. Scholarship and housing applications are already open for fall. These are done on a first come, first served basis. So go ahead and apply for those as soon as possible. And again, you do have to be accepted before applying for housing and scholarships. The last thing I want to leave you with today is the importance of coming to visit campus, whether it's in person or virtually. At Troy, we are offering both of these options. We have in-person visits at 10, 12, and 2 pretty much every weekday, and you'll be able to see some of those facilities showcased there. And you can register at troy.edu/tours. Our virtual tour of our campus as well as our housing is on there as well. And actually next Saturday, we'll be having our big fall preview day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. includes an admissions presentation, another tour of campus, and meetings with academic departments as well as student organizations. And make sure to follow us with everything we have going on Facebook and Instagram. So that's an important way to keep in contact with us and see what's going on campus. So I want to thank you all for y'all's time and learn a little bit more about Troy. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Thanks, Ryan. And up next, we have Truett McConnell University.
Hey, am I on?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, awesome. I'm just like staring at the camera. Hey, my name is Rick Kramer. I'm an admissions counselor here at Truett McConnell. We are up here in Northeast Georgia. And this school was started in 1946 to start, it was started to train ministers for the gospel. And you know, it's had quite a few pastors and all that stuff, but now we have started at least 40 different programs, which has been crazy. We've seen a huge influx in the past 15 years with our president who's been here, from just a 2-year school with 1 4-year degree to, again, over 40 programs and then 4 graduate degrees as well. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. It's really neat. It's this nice little gem up in Northeast Georgia, Blue Ridge Mountains. It's definitely worth doing a visit. I'll talk about that at the end of my presentation. But you can be more than just a pastor, preacher, missionary, etc. You can get a business degree. You can get an MBA all the way here. One of the things that is our heartbeat, our lifeblood here, is from the very first verse to the very last tribe. And what that means is in Genesis 1:1, from the very first verse, God created to the very last tribe, the last people to be reached. And again, Truett's kind of a niche school. It's not your average liberal arts school that people would go to, but it is a school that if your calling is to be a minister or just to follow Jesus Christ, it is definitely a place to come. And so one of the neat things about Truett McConnell is it has a home feel, even all the way up from our president, Dr. Amir Kanner. He'll call this place home. I graduated in 2013. I'm now back here working in admissions, loving every minute of it, getting to tell people about how awesome it is to come to this school and bridge the gap from, man, I don't know what I'm doing in my life, to, man, this is my calling and I'm following it. So it's not your typical college experience. We have our 4 pillars of our Christian education. We have a Great Commission minor. Again, that's different than other schools. and then just the intentional discipleship aspect of it. You know, you're not just another number in the checkbook, but you will have, if you're looking for that Christian flavor, if you will have that. You'll have someone to walk alongside you. You know, it's a smaller school. We have about 650 on campus, but you will get to know your professor in a very close way. But our 4 pillars of our Christian education is to love the Lord, to love the Word, to love the local church, and to love the lost. And, you know, to unpack and love the lost is people that are far from God. And we want to get to know people far from God. Because you know what? Let's just get real. Christianity really has not done a lot of good things for itself lately. And we want to make Christianity just look better than it has been. So that's one of the things, again, really enjoy this school. Each undergraduate degree includes a Great Commission minor. And what that does is it will, if you want to be in business, you want to be in psychology, you want to do biology, you're still going to get that Great Commission minor. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you that Christian worldview. It's going to give you a Bible survey. It's going to give you Bible history. It just helps you and solidifies just kind of where you're at in your walk with Jesus. So again, this is something it's a niche school for sure. You know, we desire for you to not only just grow in, we want you to grow in knowledge. We want you to grow in character and who you are, not just in church world, but in the business realm, and also in your skills. You know, we have some professors that have PhDs from Harvard. And also, you know, one of the main things here is to be an effective witness for Christ. Again, we don't want to drag Jesus' blood more than other people have done. And you'll have the opportunity to participate in missions trips, different ministry opportunities. We have go teams here on campus, and that's pretty cool. Literally student led. Like they come up with their own idea. Like we have a homeless ministry, we have a nursing home ministry, and students came up with these ideas. Professors have empowered them to do so, and now they're doing some really cool stuff. Again, just training for your calling of who you are. And if you're interested in learning more about TMU, please go to www.truett.edu. Click Request Info tab on the yellow bar and complete the short online form. Completing this form will provide you personalized TMU webpage, and we'll definitely get in contact with you. We'll give you a phone call, shoot you an email, and we will definitely just not leave you hanging. If you have any other questions, feel free to talk in the question and answer chat box. My name is Rick Kramer, TMU Admissions, rkramer at truett.edu. Thank you so much for your time. Have an awesome evening. And listen to these other people. They're great too. See ya.
Thanks, Rick. And up next, we have Tulane University.
All right, folks, good evening. My name is Owen Knight. I'm going to pull up my screen here and start telling you a little bit about Tulane. So Tulane, we are here in New Orleans, Louisiana, about a 6 or 8 hour drive from Atlanta, depending on how fast you're driving. Here's a couple of images of our campus, good mix of old buildings. We've been in this part of town since 1894, and brand new buildings too, like our new business school here. Tulane, we're split into 5 undergraduate colleges. Before I tell you what they are, though, I want you to remember that when you get into Tulane, you actually do get into all 5 of them at once. So the major you put on your application, it honestly doesn't really matter. We don't read applications any differently, whether you put business, neuroscience, or engineering on there. So the 5 schools: business, science and engineering, liberal arts, public health, which is super topical right now, and architecture. So those are the 5 schools. You have until the end of your sophomore year to declare a major. Tulane is a medium-sized institution. There's a small typo there. We're about 7,800 undergraduate students, so under 8,000 undergrads. So we're able to offer kind of the best of both worlds in terms of having all these majors, Division I athletics, research capabilities, but in a much more digestible package than many research schools. We've got an 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, 18-to-22 average class size. So for me, coming from a public high school, that was really amazing, being able to have smaller classes than in high school, but more people, more total people. Socially, it felt whole new and different. I mentioned research. The Carnegie Foundation has us listed as a tier 1 institution, so top 2%. You can see some of the other stats and figures here, plenty of funding coming in, research centers, and having that 8-to-1 ratio really allows you to get to know your professors and seek out an opportunity in a lab. In terms of our students, it is a very active student body, very involved on campus. We have all sorts of clubs and organizations, and just the general energy here is very positive, very balanced, not as cutthroat as my high school was or many of the colleges I was looking at. Our campus, we get students from all 50 states, all over the world, over 50 countries, and it is becoming more diverse year after year. Tulane is a predominantly white institution, but our student of color and international population is up to 33% this year in our freshman class. It was 18% in my freshman class. So we've come a long way in creating a much more representative and inclusive community here at Tulane. So I mentioned clubs and organizations, over 250, tons of study abroad. Greek life is popular at Tulane, but we do rush in the spring. So you got 4 months to get your life together before you join a house. We're in the American Athletic Conference, Naval Academy, University of Houston. We're playing Thursday. So varsity sports, club sports, intramurals, religious life, service, you name it. Very, very active student body. And the type of student who chooses to come to Tulane, I always joke, is it's not a joke actually, it's people who want to have a 3.7 and enjoy their life rather than have a 4.0 and be miserable. You're not going to quit everything you care about just to stick it to somebody and prove that you're better. And it's a much more collaborative academic environment. We're known for having happy students. I think just the general energy is a lot less cutthroat, like I said. And then in terms of service, that is something we're known for. This next slide, I got to talk to our graphic designer. This isn't the best representation because you're not just going to be doing manual labor as your service. We have 300 classes that have a service component, right? So you're taking an architecture class and you design and build a green single family home. In one of my consulting classes on my management major, we worked with the custodial staff at a high school and developed an inventory and scheduling system for them. So you work with folks on a project for 4 months, for an entire semester. It's much less savory than service can be sometimes. It's much more of a two-way relationship, and it really helps you connect with New Orleans in a way that is meaningful to you. We have over 50 service organizations on our campus, like just for fun, like our service dog program, or we partner with 250 organizations here in New Orleans. An example is the Grow Dat Youth Farm, where they provide local produce, fresh grown produce to families who live in food deserts and don't have access to produce at their local, corner mart. It's a great way to connect with New Orleans and push out of the Tulane bubble. New Orleans is a tremendous city. I love visiting Georgia, but I gotta say, driving for 20 minutes on 85 is more stressful than living for 2 weeks here. It's a really relaxed city, amazing food, music. I also love that our campus is about 15 minutes from the French Quarter, so you're not gonna have parades and bachelorette parties going by your dorm when you're trying to study on a Tuesday night. So it is a really nice balance of city life and college town life as well. New Orleans is known for our food. We have over 365 festivals a year in Louisiana, about 130, 140 of those here in New Orleans. Amazing live music and enough of a professional community so that you can do internships, summer jobs, and when you're looking for life after college or for your summer internship, you won't just be deciding between going back to Georgia or staying in New Orleans. You're gonna have the whole country at your fingertips because, again, we get students from all over the place. So in terms of applying, we are test optional for this year. I guess quickly though, you can see the deadlines here. My recommendation for you seniors and juniors, apply early action. That gives you the most flexibility. We do have a binding early decision. Regular for us is vastly more competitive, so I would avoid it if you can. So remember November 15th. We're test optional. You will not be negatively impacted if you don't have test scores. You'll still be considered for merit scholarship. But after academics, we are also looking at who you are as a human being. So your activities, your letters of recommendation, your essays, and then interest is important to us as well. So I'll leave y'all my email in the Q&A. You can find it online if you just Google Tulane and Owen, but it's my job to go to the committee and say, hey, that Rick Kramer guy, he seems nice, he seems smart, and I got to convince my boss to let him in. And part of that question is, well, would he actually think about coming here? So if you have any interest in coming to Tulane, make sure you check out some of our events, make sure you email with me. Everyone's considered for a scholarship when they apply. There's no application fee, and we do take the FAFSA and CSS profile as well. So at the end of the day, over 3/4 of our students are getting money to attend Tulane, and that is my time. But if you have any questions, hit me in the Q&A or shoot me an email. Thank Thanks, y'all. Appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you so much. And up next is the University of Montevallo.
Hi everyone, my name is Cecilia Venable. I am the out-of-state admissions counselor here at Montevallo. All right. So if you have not heard of us, we are located in central Alabama. We are about 45 minutes south of Birmingham. We're the exact center. There is a star that commemorates it. We do have 35 plus degree programs. Those go over 4 colleges: College of Education, College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business, and the College of Fine Arts. So a little bit of everything. We do have a 2,600 total enrollment for undergrad. So what that means for you is very small class sizes. The average is about 23. It kind of depends on where you're at in your education. I went to school here, so in some of my basic classes, I had about 40. Whereas once I got to my senior capstone, I think there were 12 of us. We do have 90 plus student organizations. So 14 of those are Greek life across Panhellenic, IFC, and NPHC. We also have 21 Division II athletic teams. We just added men and women swimming this past year. We've been very proud of that, as well as 2 spirit teams, which are cheerleading and dance. We also, I do not have a slide for it, I'm so sorry, but we do have our President's Outdoor Scholars Program that was developed in 2015. So it is just a program that covers general education on wildlife and conservation. We also have a bass fishing team under that and an archery team. They do offer scholarships, so if that is something that you're interested in, just reach out to me and I can get you the director's contact. And then the bulk of my presentation, I did want to talk about our admission requirements. So we have decided to go test optional this year. So it is just a $30 non-refundable application fee. And then you'll just have your counselor, whoever sent us your official transcripts, to be evaluated. I do encourage you to send test scores if you have them, but we do understand tests have been canceled or you may not have been able to. So just send us your transcripts. And then also for scholarships, we have decided to go test optional. We also do super score for both admission and scholarships. So if you do have those, please send them. And these are all of our merit-based scholarships. These are actually all automatically awarded to you based on that. So no need to apply or anything. If you send us no test scores, we have you in 3 brackets now. We just changed this. So if you have a 3.0 to a 3.49, you would receive our MAL scholarship, which is $2,500 a year. A 3.5 to a 3.99 would be our academic recognition scholarship. That is $4,500 a year. And then a 4.0 would be our freshman leadership scholarship, which is $6,000 a year. The 2 that we kept the same, you absolutely, no matter what, have to meet our previous requirements, are a Presidential Honor Scholarship, which is a 30 to 36 on the ACT, 1390 to 1600 on the SAT, and a 3.0 GPA. That is $9,000 a year, and if you qualify for that, you would automatically get the application for our MAP scholarship. That is our full ride. You do have to apply and be chosen for an interview, and then be chosen from the interview to receive that. But I do also want to note that we are going based off of what would benefit our students the most. So say you do have test scores and a GPA, you might have a 3.1 GPA. So if you didn't have ACT scores, you would qualify for the MALs. But if you do have that test score and say you scored a 27, we would just go ahead and give you the Freshman Leadership Scholarship. So whatever benefits the student. And then for our out-of-state students, for our Georgia students, you do have to have a 3.0 to get the out-of-state scholarship. And then this is our page for additional scholarships. So these are foundational, alumni, or departmental scholarships. It is just one application. You fill it out, you send a resume, and it auto-applies you to all of the ones you would qualify for, which they've condensed this a lot. Whenever I was an incoming student, you used to have to go through it and decide which ones you think you'd qualify for, and then apply to them individually. So they've simplified this a lot. That is a harsh deadline of March 1st. So we would not be able to award after that. And then we do have a really awesome financial aid office on campus. So whenever you fill out your FAFSA and this year's taxes, go ahead and put in our FAFSA code if you're interested, and they will get you a really good package there. And then if you have any more questions, this is my contact information. If you have and paper, write it down. And I'm more than happy to set up a Zoom or set up a tour for you with our school. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Our next institution is the University of South Carolina. And just as a reminder, if you have any specific questions about institutions that you've already heard about, or questions for all of our admission representatives, please feel free to use the Q&A widget.
Hey guys, my name is Lorenzo Myers, and I am the Georgia Regional Admissions Representative here at the University of South Carolina. So greeting from the University of South Carolina. The University of South Carolina is located in Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina is considered a mid-sized metropolitan area. There's about 130,000 people that makes up the city of Columbia. Columbia is centrally located in the state, so we're about an hour and a half away from the beaches in Charleston, South Carolina, and then we're about an hour and a half away from the mountains in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here, I don't have a presentation. I have an application at a glance, just giving you some updates and also a checklist for your application. This year, we are test optional here at the University of South Carolina. So if you look at this presentation in this PDF, is just showing you what we're looking for in a prospective student. But just to talk a little bit more about our campus before we begin talking about the application, the University of South Carolina, like I stated, is located in the downtown area of Columbia, South Carolina. We are the state's flagship public institution. We have over 300 plus degree options for our students. We're known for our #1 international business program in the US. Also, there are a variety of liberal arts programs that are offered here on our campus, but we do have specialized areas like your pharmacy, your engineering, your sports and retail management. Also, we do offer 2 schools. We have a law school and a medical school. And also as well here on our campus, we do have graduate programs as well. So our students would love to stay after they complete their bachelor's degree to get into a graduate program or also even go to law school or medical school. I want to talk about our honors college as well. We have the nation's best top-ranked honors college for a public institution. And the honors college is a 4-year enrichment program, and there's a separate application for the honors college. And I'll talk more about that as well when we get into the application at a glance. Also with housing, freshmen are required to live on campus here their first year, but also freshmen could drive their first year as well here on our campus. Also, there are 30 unique dining options for our students on campus. My favorite is Chick-fil-A, which is housed in the Russell House. I love a hot Chick-fil-A sandwich meal, but we do offer Starbucks and so much more for our students on campus. One notable thing I would like to say as well, that a current student from Georgia noted that although Columbia is much smaller than the city of Atlanta, Columbia has so much to offer, whether it's from your Southern eateries and Southern cuisines, to the various museums, to the shopping boutiques and shopping plazas, the outdoor adventures, the concerts and music festivals, and so much more. Also, to let you know as well, we are test optional this year. So we're going to take a look at this application at a glance. So we are test optional this year, which means that the SAT and the ACT is not required for admissions, but also not required for scholarships as well in the honors college. So there's 3 ways that you guys can apply to our university. It's through the USC app, which is on our webpage, the Common app, or the Coalition app. Also, there is a $65 application fee, but we do accept fee waivers as well. This year, we are requiring that you do reach out to your guidance counselor to send us a school report form. And then also this year, you will upload your unofficial high school transcript. And this year, there is 1 supplemental material that is required. The 3 supplemental items that you can submit this year, I'm gonna scroll down for a second with my mouse. The 3 options, if you can read right there where it says supplemental materials, SAT or ACT scores, 3 alternate exam scores, or a graded written assignment from your 11th or 12th grade year. So these are the 3 options that we're giving students this year since we are test optional. I'm gonna scroll back up real quick just to show you the South Carolina Honors College application checklist. This deadline is November 15. So it's a month after the regular early action. Sorry, after the early action, there's a month later is the Honors College deadline, but also the Honors College, there are 2 additional essays, also 1 question as well, and then 2 letters of recommendation that is required. The deadlines right here on the side, you can see our deadlines, and I can talk more about that as well if you have any questions about our deadlines. But the last day to apply to our university is December 1st. Just to let you know, all students who apply by the December 1st deadline will be considered for merit-based scholarships. And this year, your GPA will be the main driver this year when we look at students for merit-based scholarships, but also the Honors College as well. Our university is a really, really great university with Southern charm. We're only 3 hours away from the city of Atlanta. So a lot of Georgia students love to say that, hey, it's great to go to a university that's out of state, but also affordable, but also where we can receive a great education. About 98% of our freshman class students receive some sort of financial aid. And then about 1/3 of our freshman class students receive a merit-based scholarship. And merit-based scholarships either comes with tuition reduction, and then our top merit-based scholarships comes with full in-state tuition. So I'll just scroll down again to kind of show you a little bit more about preparing to apply. You guys are more than welcome to apply on our webpage or Common App or either the Coalition app. Also as well, we are Division I when it comes to sports. So if you guys are interested in the sports, and we are in the Southeastern Conference. One thing to just talk about as well, one of the students' favorite student traditions is on Saturdays when we do have a football game to go cheer on the Gamecocks with 82,000 plus family and friends while tailgating, but also at the game as well. Here at the University of South Carolina, we are big on the word family. Although you are attending a large institution, there's various ways where you can build that sense of community here on our campus. If you haven't been to our campus, I encourage you to do visit our campus. We are giving in-person tours as well. We are practicing social distancing, and we are requiring everyone to wear a mask on our campus. Really great university. You will see that return on investment. And if there's anything that I can do to help you guys out throughout the entire admissions process, I'm here for you guys to assist you guys throughout the entire admissions process. And is there anything that you may have questions about a particular major or any particular program, I'm here to help you guys. And I can also reach out to your guidance counselor as well to answer any questions that you guys may have about the admissions process, but also about the city of Columbia as well. Thank you guys for having me today, and it's nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Lorenzo. Just a reminder, if you have any questions about the institutions you've heard, please feel free to use the Q&A widget at the bottom of your screen. Also, a quick update on our schedule. Unfortunately, Thomas University was unable to join us, so we will not be having a presentation from Thomas University. All right, while we wait to see if anyone has any questions, if we could kind of bring back all of our presenters, and we'll get it started at least with one question. Obviously, right now, some campuses are able to offer visits and some are not. But in the future, when students are able to kind of visit your campus, what's one place that you would recommend that they can't leave your campus without checking out? And we'll go in the same order as we initially presented. So, Ryan, that puts you first.
So I would say for us, kind of one of the highlights of a campus visit is our brand new student rec center that just opened in March. So it's about as brand new as it can be. It was over a $25 million project, 3 stories, and it's free for all students to use over the course of their time at Troy. So it's a really exciting venture that we built on campus. So that would be really one of the highlights of the campus visit at Troy.
Hey, go figure. I had to figure out where I was at, and I definitely dumped off my my deal. But here, hey, so here at Truett McConnell, we just built our SWC, our Student Wellness Center, and I think we finished it in 2017. It was about a $20 million deal. It's pretty cool. You get nice and buff and get to watch some basketball games. We have the public house. It is not a pub per se, but it is named the public house. So that would be a place to eat some food, hang out. So yeah, that'd definitely be a place to hang out here at Truett McConnell.
So we are doing in-person tours right now. So if you feel safe driving down or whatever, definitely feel free to come sign up. The tour is pretty comprehensive on campus, but right off campus, I always recommend Audubon Park. It's right across the street from campus. Beautiful place to go for a walk. Check out a lot of people's dogs and just enjoy the nice, cool fall weather we're having right now.
Hi, we're also offering tours right now. So on the tour, two of our biggest new features are our new Center for the Performing Arts. It is one of our new multi-million-dollar buildings. It's really neat. It has an art gallery in it. We're actually showing a piece right now, and then it's a real upgrade if you've ever been to campus. And then also our new business building. But right off campus is a place called Orr Park. In the trees, art students have gone and etched like faces and different pictures in them. It's really neat. And then we also have a university lake, and we rent out kayaks and canoes, and there's a walking trail and all of that good stuff. So it's definitely a nice place to visit.
We are encouraging students to visit our campus as well. One notable area on our campus is our historic Horseshoe. Our campus was built in 1801, and so those buildings are still there since the Civil War. And a unique fact as well, our president actually still lives on the historic Horseshoe. So if you guys haven't been to our campus, it has that quad-like feel with a lot of green space and a lot of Southern charm as well.
Great, thank you all so much. It looks like we did have some kind of specific questions in the Q&A that have been answered, and so there are no others, but I do want to thank everyone for joining us this evening, for both our presenters and for all of you who tuned in to receive this information. When this webinar ends, there will be a quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you could provide. Also, just a reminder that this was one of many sessions being offered, so be sure to sign up for additional ones. And in about a week at the same website where you initially registered, you'll be able to find recordings of this session and all others that took place as part of Georgia Virtual College Fair. Thanks again, and have a great evening.